Hello and welcome to Head and Shoulders, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. Today we're talking about Briana Williams. And specifically, are Briana Williams' biggest weaknesses? Now, obviously, her mother's been talking on to people and saying, hey, leave my daughter alone. She got her head on straight. She's got this. Hey, look, this is an analysis channel, so we're not going to be doing what some people, they just jump on a bandwagon and say whatever they say on the internet, Twitter, Instagram, some channels out there that may not, they just go whatever clicks they can get. You see on this channel, I even stopped posting for months. Okay, I'm not concerned with the clicks and the views. If so, I would have just been knocking out videos like a mill at that time. Now I'm gonna come out with these now here with this. So just keep in mind that I think that before we get into that content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. That's Kiss the Diamond. And most importantly, share this video with other people. When you share this, that exposes the channel to more, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to change track and field. And also people that aren't even normally that like track and field. Hey, people have reached out and said, hey, look, you're funny with some of the roasts that you do, whatever this is. They like that type of thing. So even share with people that may not be fans of track and field. You never know. They might be converted. And that's what we're trying to do on this channel. We're trying to reach out to people that are already in it, reach a new generation, and convert people that aren't there. Because one of the biggest things is track and field got a lot of talent and a lot of people that can get paid here. A lot of people that can be gotten attention and more sponsorships just by getting a little bit of the name out. And we got to do it because the media, the mainstream media, is not going to pay attention to it. So without further ado, okay, Briana Williams, let's look at this. All right. She does well in her own right? And she's run faster than this race. I think it's 7.11. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It might be 7:10, but I think she ran a 7:11 in the 60. Oh yeah. And before I get to that, congratulations to Shanti Jackson for that high school record, the 7.18 in the 60. Now, somebody pointed out before, it was a conversation, that there's like 2 or 3 high school records. There's the USATF, the USATF National, like the Olympic national thing. That's what because we have a national meet here. And then there's a it's a high school record. Those may not all be the same thing. But what she has here, if I'm not mistaken, is the USATF high school record, which is not to be confused with the high school record. You got to have it at a USATF sanctioned event, which is what the Millrose games are. And congratulations to her, because that is Batman's daughter. She's 16 years old. Look out for her. And if she's doing this in the 60 meter at 16 years old, look out in that 100 in the future. Look out for the 60 indoor, and maybe even look out for the 200, because we know Batman, and he didn't even have to lift weights, so he was doing more plyos and everything. Congratulations to him. Congrats on Aaliyah Hobbs and Briscoe. They've been going back and forth. It's another video for them. Briana Williams, this is what she let me see if I got this right here. Okay, there's Gardner. Here we go. Here's Williams. All right, let's see. I know copyright. Okay, now Williams appeared to get out pretty well. We got Gabby Thomas. She basically kind of sort of popped up. She's a little taller, so it may have an illusion, but she more or less popped up. Williams kind of went through her transition pretty well. She gets out, of course, on Thomas, but on her outside over here, I think at this point she might be in the lead or just vying for it. But this pressure right here, that's her biggest weakness. I'm getting to it right now. Biggest weakness is pressure. You know who else suffers from the pressure? And so I'll take this off because I don't want to get the copyright strike on it. You know who else suffers from pressure like that? Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. We see it when somebody's next to her. Her form breaks down in the 100. Now, obviously, she tripped at the Olympics. I think I was the only one that had called that. There was nobody else that called that trip. And I mean, I saw it even without having to slow it down. And that's what threw her off a little bit, right? But looking at other things, the only person that's been able to pressure Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price consistently is Elaine Thompson-Herah. She's beaten her more than Fraser-Price has beaten her back, right? And then you see it in the 200. With all the speed that she's gotten, if she gets pressured in that 200, she goes, I'm almost, the way I look at it now is if they ran on her, next to her in that 200 at the Jamaican trials, they might have beat Fraser-Price, but instead they held back behind her. I told y'all, it didn't even look like they were, Thompson-Herah or Jackson were trying to go past her. What does this have to do with Briana Williams? I'll get to that in a second. You know who else suffers from these pressured situations? Well, a little bit different at championships. I think Bromell suffers from pressure a little bit if he has a field that's stacked. Because you know some athletes can run when they aren't quote unquote fast. Not to disrespect any of the pro athletes, because these pro athletes are still fast in their own right. But Williams, do y'all think that she's one of the athletes, at least in the 60, that if the field is okay, she just blazes, and then if they get a little bit stronger or if they have a good day or whatever that is, she doesn't perform well? Because I know y'all said that before. Y'all are like, well, you know, Elaine Thompson-Herah, especially the people that were fans of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Elaine Thompson-Herah, she may be undefeated when I mentioned that last year, but she didn't run against anybody important. Well, okay, but we know Elaine Thompson-Herah can win. She only typically hasn't done well at championships. But if you get her in a race that's non-championship, I think she can win against anybody. Now, my opinion has changed a little bit, right? After that, I said if she's not injured and if she doesn't, you know, with her, you know, the mind games that she may play with herself, just like Asafa Powell. Okay? Now, going back to Briana Williams, from my observation of looking at so many of her races, if somebody is there and pressuring her, she kind of, something happens. She doesn't break down, because Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price breaks down. Her form breaks down a lot of times. She'll put her head up, and once she puts her head up, it's gone. It's over. You see her exposed in the 4x1s. Put her on that curve. Remember Prandini? Her head didn't necessarily go up. Put her at the start on the 4x1, same thing. It's like put her on those curves on the 4x1, and she kind of gets exposed. Even in the back straightaway, she's gotten somebody to close ground on her. It's not when she has an equalized start where everybody's next to her in the 100 in that straight line. She really excels with that. But her weaknesses are exploited on those relays. Briana Williams' weakness is exploited just running in the open events, which is an Achilles heel. Here's the good thing about it, because I don't just point out a weakness to point out the weakness. Here's the good thing about it. What if she becomes like Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price and you don't just snap a finger and then everything gets improved? Because people are like, yeah, her start has to get better. Her start has to get better. Her start has to get better. Okay. It's not going to happen overnight. Remember, she is now an Olympic gold medalist. Mind you, it's on a relay. Hey, who cares, right? Because she was legitimately the fourth fastest at the Jamaican championships. So that means she earned her right on that relay. And this year, we will see if she's able to make the team with the automatic bye that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price has. And hopefully not injured towards the end of the season like last season. Okay? The good thing is if she can work on her start, which is going to take most likely multiple seasons. Otto himself said, we're in for the long game. His long game has already gotten him an Olympic gold medal. And he said this some years ago saying, hey, we going after that Olympic gold. Okay, he's got it. He's got it for her on the relay. Now let's see what happens in these open events. I have confidence based on past evidence of him having her improve that she can get this. Now she's a little bit rusty right now. I can give it to her. But do you guys agree that you observe the same things, whether it's the 100 or it could be the 60? If she has somebody that's pressuring her, then she typically isn't going to do as well. Something there is, I haven't observed her losing her form necessarily, but because some people, they get pressured and something in their mind is just like, oh crap, I don't know what they're thinking at that time. But it's like, 60 meters is so short. It may be just a gut reaction, a flinch. Just like in this race at the Millrose game, I forgot whoever that was on the outside lane flinched in the blocks, right? Flinched in the blocks. Now I'm finished with that. I'll go back to this because this is a slight tangent. Look at, I forget who this is on the outside. Look here in lane 9. Watch this flinch real quick. Now you see that. She flinched. No false start, no nothing. I always find it very interesting how they do these things. Because that threw a whole race off. She like flinched, went back, came out the blocks late out of everybody and probably panicked. So here's the thing. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me that that's her biggest weakness? Or maybe it's something else? Everybody has a weakness. It's just some of them can be worked on. And I think if she gets a fast, fantastic start, that it'll kind of be like a Shelly Ann Fraser Price. As long as you don't run into an Elaine Thompson hero. Like, it's like the Bromell versus, or a Tyson Gay. Because I'm not sure. Bromell, he might have been hurt or something. I don't know. He didn't say he was hurt. But for now, I'm just going to say, man, he just clunked under pressure. So Bromell versus a Christian Coleman for active athletes right now. I would say Tyson Gay because Tyson Gay is a closer. But I'll say Bromell because he'll have to close on Coleman. But Coleman can get out so fast on everybody else. Will he even get into a pressured situation like that? Well, with the current form that he's in now, his form was falling apart, but he got out faster than everybody else. That's what I'm saying. If she can get out just a little bit faster, then she might have nothing to worry about because more often than not, she'll blaze the rest of the field and then she'll be looking like Shelly Ann Fraser Price. Because she didn't really, Fraser Price didn't get exposed that much until Thompson Hero came around. But anyway, I'll catch you all on the next one. You've been watching Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest.